Residing in your colon or large intestine, you have a vast population of various organisms, including bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Collectively, it's known as the intestinal microbiome. I've discussed the microbiome in many of my articles in my Applied Metabolics newsletter. Until a few years ago, the intestinal microbiome was basically thought to really not do much. Basically, the bacteria was thought to help produce certain nutrients such as vitamin K, a couple of B vitamins, and biotin, which is a B vitamin, or considered a B complex vitamin. But other than that, it wasn't. It was kind of considered there. They don't really know the full nuances of what it did. However, there's been an explosion of medical research in the last couple of years showing that this intestinal microbiome is unbelievably, comprehensive when it comes to health. It affects every part of the body from the head to your toes. It affects brain function. It affects how you absorb nutrients, protein, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins. 99% of your immune system interacts with the intestinal microbiome, meaning that if your intestinal microbiome isn't functioning properly, your immunity goes down quite a bit. In fact, recent studies show that people that have a healthier balance of organisms in the microbiome, if they do get COVID-19 or infected, if they get infected with COVID-19, they usually have much milder cases and much less chance of having the most dreaded complication of COVID-19 other than death itself, which is a situation called long COVID, where symptoms of COVID last long after the initial infection is basically gone, meaning that the virus, the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID, causes damage to the body that's permanent. There's no medical treatment that could help you. And which part of the body it's going to affect can't be predicted. In some people, it's the gastrointestinal tract. Some people, it's the heart. Some people, it's the brain, where they get like a permanent brain fog. It can ruin people's lives. So you want to definitely take care of the gut microbiome. There's like over 200 species of bacteria, viruses, and fungi in the gut microbiome, and it's kind of like a balance. A lot of the bacteria down there is considered beneficial. Like as I say, it helps you. It helps do many things. It helps manufacture neurotransmitters that affect brain health. Some of the bacteria produce what they call short-chain fatty acids, which are fatty acids which 8 carbons or less. There's 3 main ones: butyric acid, propionate, and acetate. The butyric acid or butyrate is particularly important because, among other benefits, it travels to the brain and it can help to clear out the abnormal proteins that are associated with degenerative brain disease, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. In the gut, butyrate helps to reverse early signs of colon cancer, which I believe is about the 3rd leading cause of death from cancer. You have a precancerous condition called, they have what they call polyps, these little outgrowths in the intestine, which are considered precancerous growths that can easily become colon cancer. Butyrate seems to have the ability to reverse. In other words, it prevents those pre-tumors from becoming full-fledged tumors. The bacteria in the gut also seem to have effects on various health conditions, including type 2 diabetes, which is now epidemic throughout the world, inflammatory bowel disease such as Crohn's disease, and psoriatic arthritis. So the gut health, the microbiome, as I said, it's associated with your immune system. It's associated with mental health because it affects brain neurotransmitters. It affects the onset of autoimmune diseases such as lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. It affects endocrine disorders and how your body releases thyroid hormones. Gastrointestinal disorders, like I said, cardiovascular disease. It affects how your body handles blood fats, cholesterol, low density lipoprotein. It affects cancer, as I said earlier. There's certain things that can adversely affect the population of organisms in the intestinal microbiome, and when you have an imbalance where let's say the bad organisms overtake the good organisms, that's called dysbiosis. And dysbiosis can be caused by several things. Among them are a large intake of processed foods containing refined carbohydrates, bad fat, including too much saturated fat. All of these things favor the growth of bad bacteria in the gut, which can lead to various diseases. Other things that adversely affect the health of the microbiome include very high stress levels, not having enough sleep, and also, of course, when you take antibiotics have a shotgun approach where it basically not only knocks out disease-causing organisms, but unfortunately, it knocks out a lot of the beneficial bacteria in the microbiome. If you have, for example, symptoms of excess gas, if you're bloating, you get a lot of bloating, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, these are all signs of having a gut dysbiosis or an imbalance. As I said, a high sugar diet is very bad, and because it also stimulates inflammation. And that's another thing. Another reason why you want to keep your gut microbiome or intestinal microbiome healthy is because it helps prevent what they call systemic inflammation, which is at the root of many diseases. How does it do that? Well, you have a kind of normally impenetrable barrier of cells in your intestine. Certain things cause the cells to kind of open up. They call it leaky gut syndrome. And when that happens, byproducts of the bacteria in the intestine, noxious byproducts such as lipopolysaccharide or LPS, they get through the openings or the cracks, so to speak, in the intestine. They get into the blood, and the body looks at that as a invader, and it causes a systemic inflammation that can cause any number of diseases. Then sometimes you have sometimes the bacteria will get into the small intestine. Well, it causes a malabsorption syndrome. It interferes with the absorption of nutrients. This is called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO. So that can happen too. As I said, if you don't get enough sleep, increases stress, which adversely affects the health of the microbiome. What else can you do? So what can you do to help your microbiome? Well, first you want to try and lower your stress levels. I know it's difficult in this day and age with all the things happening, but there's a few ways. You might want to meditate a little bit, walk, get a massage, limit alcohol intake, practice yoga, spend time with your pet. All these things help reduce stress. Make sure you get enough sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. You want to eat slowly. Don't wolf down your food. Drink plenty of water, because they found that drinking a lot of water increases the diversity of bacteria in the gut. The greater the diversity of bacteria in the gut, the healthier it is. One 2022 study found that people who drank more water had less of a type of a bacteria that causes gastrointestinal infections. So also drinking water will help prevent constipation. As far as supplements go, prebiotics and probiotics, prebiotics are basically stuff like fermented foods, sauerkraut, kombucha. I might be mispronouncing that. These things, basically, the bacteria thrive on. They increase the health of the bacteria, especially the good bacteria. That's what probiotics do. In other words, prebiotics do that. Yogurt's also considered a prebiotic. Probiotics are the actual bacteria. They come in various supplements. You might have seen probiotic supplements. You want to get one that has at least 10, at least probably 20 different strains of at least 10, at least 10 billion CFU. They're called colony forming units. You want to take them, again, the more strains in a probiotic supplement, the better. The only bad thing about probiotic supplements is that it's kind of like a drop in the bucket compared to the trillions of bacteria that exist in the microbiome, but it still helps. It can help to regulate the balance of bacteria, especially after you've done something like taking antibiotics where you've wiped out a lot of the good bacteria. Taking a probiotic will help restore the good bacteria. But if you're going to use a probiotic, most of them have to be refrigerated because they're live bacteria and they die out pretty fast under normal temperatures. So you want to keep it in the refrigerator once you open the bottle. And also you want to be aware that the bacteria, once you've ingested them, they last an average of 2 weeks in the microbiome, and then they disappear if you stop using it. So if you want to have the best benefit from a prebiotic, you want to take it regularly. I take a prebiotic supplement that has, let me think, I think it has about 30 billion CFUs, and I think it has 15 different strains of bacteria. I take 2 capsules of it every day as soon as I wake up. I take it on an empty stomach, and as I said, I keep it refrigerated. You want to also, as I said, the other great thing you could do, another very potent probiotic element, if you want to call it, is dietary fiber. You cannot digest fiber. A lot of idiots on the internet say don't eat fiber because there's no need for it. Especially these carnivore diet advocates, they make stupid statements like there's no need to eat dietary fiber. That is complete bogus nonsense, because if for no other reason, your intestinal bacteria, your microbiome thrives on dietary fiber. And without enough fiber, they die out, and you have a good chance of slipping into dysbiosis, where you get a increase in the population of toxic bacteria, which can cause all kinds of disease. There's 2 kinds of dietary fiber, insoluble and soluble. It's insoluble fiber is stuff like bran. I can't remember offhand, but the best type of fiber for the intestinal microbiome is called soluble fiber, which is stuff like oats, and it's found in fruit, vegetables, that type of thing. Polyphenol nutrients, as found in green tea, resveratrol, some others. They also help promote the growth of beneficial bacteria, so they're very good for your bacteria too. The good bacteria. Again, a couple of examples of high fiber foods include legumes like black beans, chickpeas, whole grains like oats and quinoa, I believe it's pronounced, vegetables, broccoli, asparagus, nuts, almonds, pistachios, fruits like apples and peaches. All of these contain the type of fiber that's very good for your microbiome. Another supplement that could help the microbiome is garlic, especially what they call aged garlic. A 2019 mouse study showed that eating aged garlic extract greatly increased the gut microbiome diversity and improved gut health. And as I said, a sign of a healthy microbiome is having a diverse ratio of different bacteria. That's what a healthy microbiome consists of. And again, fermented foods are prebiotics. And examples of that include kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, and as I mentioned earlier, kombucha, and the other thing I mentioned, which I already forgot, collagen boosting foods. Some people think of foods like bone broth can be healthy for gut health, or you can use hydrolyzed collagen supplements. Seems to help. The only study that showed that was with mice, but it might also work with humans. Let me see, what else can I say? Fasting, how does fasting affect the gut microbiome? It seems to benefit it. A 2019 study of 16 people showed that going on intermittent fasting was linked to lower levels of a type of bacteria that's associated with colorectal cancer. A 2018 study that involved fruit flies found that intermittent fasting appeared to improve gut health and increase lifespan. Another 2019 study in mice indicated that fasting promoted the growth of beneficial gut bacteria and reduced intestinal inflammation. So I think that's about it. Also, you should know there's a controversy that directly affects bodybuilding. It has to do with a substance called TMAO. And I've written about this several times in my Applied Metabolics publication. TMO is basically a kind of a byproduct of two nutrients that are very commonly used in bodybuilding or consumed in foods favored by bodybuilders and fitness people, which is meat and fish. And it's produced from the nutrients choline and carnitine. Some preliminary studies have associated TMAO. First you get TMA and then TMAO. The production starts in the liver, and then in the gut, certain bacteria will convert TMA into TMAO, which then gets into the blood. Some early studies suggested that TMO causes atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. Since then, a number of studies have linked it to all kinds of diseases ranging from cancer to diabetes. And again, it has to do with certain bacteria in the gut, which convert TMA into TMAO. Now, again, it's associated with choline and carnitine. However, some studies have indicated they haven't found any really direct cause and effect relationship between TMAO and all these diseases. So it's kind of still up in the air. There is, like, for example, if you take those polyphenol compounds like green tea, resveratrol, and there's one called pterostilbene. Pterostilbene directly inhibits the bacteria that convert TMA into TMAO in the gut. So it'll prevent the formation of TMAO in the first place, so you can have your choline and carnitine and not worry about it. So all I could say is I want to just finish this off by saying don't ignore the health of your gut. Don't listen to these idiots who push this carnivore diet. And let me explain before people start attacking me. There's nothing wrong with the carnivore diet if you short term. This is the diet that I used myself when I competed in bodybuilding shows many years ago. I lived on a diet basically consisting of only meat and eggs. That's it, nothing else. I ate no vegetables, no fruits, nothing. It was, almost, like I said, almost zero carbohydrates. I went off the diet once or twice a week where I did increase carbohydrates, which recent research shows that's a very smart thing to do because it prevents the drop in resting metabolic rate that would have occurred with a straight diet situation where I never had any carbohydrates or had the same low calories for several months. It would cause your resting metabolic rate to drop like crazy after the diet. Going off the diet seems to help prevent that. But my point being that I used it short term. I used it for a couple of months. But people now today are advocating staying on carnivore diets permanently, year round, where they don't get any fiber. As I said, some of these idiots go right that dietary fiber is not essential. And let me tell you right off the bat, anyone who tells you that dietary fiber is not important to health, run away from them. Don't listen to them. They're absolute quacks, and they're full of crap. Full of crap. Anyone who has a brain, go on to the National Library of Medicine, PubMed. Look up the benefits of dietary fiber. You'll find thousands of articles telling you. In fact, I'm going to do an article in Applied Metabolics coming up, an extensive article on all the health benefits of dietary fiber, including some recent research which shows that it has a dramatic effect on helping you lose body fat. And one of the reasons it does that is because of its beneficial effect on the intestinal microbiome. So that's about it on the microbiome. I've written about it. I had a recent article on the microbiome in Applied Metabolics called The Universe Within. And I'm sure that I will continue to have more articles on the microbiome because the research on it is exploding. They're finding new things all the time about how it affects the body. So I'm sure there'll be more research that I'll be writing about in Applied Metabolics. And by the way, if you want more information on nutrition, exercise science, anti-aging research, effective fat loss techniques, ergogenic aids, hormonal therapy, women's health and fitness, much more. I cover more topics than any other digital publication in Applied Metabolics. It's at www.appliedmetabolics.com. Subscribe today. It's 40 to 50 pages every month. There's no advertising. It's state-of-the-art. It includes not only the newest research, but it has something that nobody else can match, which is my 6 decades of constant study and empirical research that I don't believe anyone can match as far as I know. The people that can match it are dead. Anyway, just a joke. But the point is that subscribe today, www.appliedmetabolics.com. When you subscribe, I'll send you an invitation to join my private Applied Metabolics Facebook page, where each day I post new information on exercise, nutrition, and general health. I also have an email portal on my Applied Metabolics webpage, where current subscribers only can send me short questions about anything they read in Applied Metabolics that they're curious about, or any other question pertaining to nutrition and exercise. And as an appreciation of their subscription, I will answer the questions. Of course, that means that if you're not a subscriber, your questions will go into the ether. I don't have time. My subscribers come first because I appreciate their support of my work, and I only have a limited amount of time, so those questions will be answered. Other questions will not. So don't waste your time sending me any questions if you're not a current subscriber. However, you're welcome to leave any comments about topics for future videos under these videos. If I feel that the topic will interest enough people, I will try and do a video about it. Also, if you think these videos are of value, please subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every Tuesday. Actually, it's late Monday morning, but I say Tuesday because it is actually Tuesday. It's after midnight, but I post one every week. So I think that you'll find them informative, and you'll notice anyone who is a subscriber who has watched my videos, you'll notice I don't push any commercial products, unlike a lot of the other YouTube videos where there's an agenda involved, where they'll seemingly give you information which only leads to their selling you a product that they're making money off. The only thing I'm selling, which I'm upfront about, is my publication, Applied Metabolics, which is not expensive at all. The stuff that they sell is like $60 to over $100 at least. Applied Metabolics is 33 cents a day. I don't care what type of economic distress you're under. Anyone, I believe anybody, I believe even a homeless person can afford 33 cents a day. As I said, and I designed Applied Metabolic to be read on any media, whether it's an iPad, on your computer, on your phone. You could read it on any media. So again, subscribe today, www.appliedmetabolics.com. If you want to have the best friend you'll ever have, go to your local shelter and adopt a dog. And thank you for listening.